Hi Cloudarians. So welcome back. If you've not watched the previous session, you might need some of the knowledge, but if not, we can still go ahead. So today we'll be looking at the command line, the Linux command line itself. And like we did the last time, you would have to first start your lab, download the PEM file for people using the Linux operating system. If you have Mac OS or the Windows are supposed to use the ppk file, so the Mac OS, you're also supposed to use the PEM file. So that is it. If you download it, copy the public IP address from the details section, and you are going to need that for the rest. So just like we did, you have to change your directory. I'm using git bash, so that is what I'll be using into that particular lab. So for now, our first task we'll be doing is to familiarize ourselves with some of the commands. Okay, after copying the public IP address, let's familiarize ourselves with some of the commands inside this Linux. We will need these commands to advance in other tasks that I'll be showing you guys very soon. So yes, the lab is taking a while to provision. Sorry about that. Okay, so inside our git bash, we are going to start the process again. cd ssh into the new instance. You cannot use the previous instance because the session would have you would have lost that session for that particular IP address. So that is why we need to download a different one. But if you were able to SSH and you're using this in your personal account, you can use the same account to do all these other labs. You don't need to SSH again like I'm doing over here. But here I have to reach that in another instance to do this particular task again. So that is why there's a bit of delay around here. Moving this away. So yeah. I hope you remember the commands. You first have to go into your downloads folder where the PEM file was downloaded, and take note of how the PEM file was downloaded. If it's downloaded in any other way, go back to your downloads, rename it to make it easier for you. Okay, then you can come to your bash shell or any other your Linux your terminal to do it again. Then you SSH safely using the new public IP. If you use the old one, it might not work. So it will not even work. It might not work. Use the new public IP address. Then yes, then you are inside your new instance. Then from there, if you are inside, like I said, my drivers are not updated, so I have to manually input my public IP address into this terminal. Yes, then we are in. Our first command that we'll be using is the who am I, the WAMI. That's the who am I. You can simply type in WHOA, then type the tab button. It will complete the rest of the command for you. Okay, the tab is normally there to ensure that you are in the right path, you are not making any error. You get so you can just type in the WHOA, then the tab, it will complete, or you can just type in the who am I. That's together, who am I, and this is going to tell us who we are. We are an EC2 instance. Do you understand? I am currently right now an EC2 user. Then my next command was the host name -s. This is my computer's host name. Know that this is an AWS instance lab, so I don't know what you're going to use my IP address for. Okay, so this is my host name, my instance host name. Then we are going to check the uptime. How long has my instance been running? Do you understand? That is the uptime. So if you want, in your Kali, you also want to check how long your system has been running. This is normally required or used for people maybe doing investigation, or you would like to know certain things about your machine. you get? Maybe you are sharing this with somebody and there's some form of, what I don't want to say grudge, but something is happening and you want to confirm. You can check the uptime at which your system has been up. Do you understand? In an easy format, and here you can see my uptime. Our other command we'll be using is the who-h-a. Then you press enter. So with this other command, we are going to know who logged in. Do you understand? The time they logged in, and some additional info can be displayed here. Oh, there's a pause here, but it's working on my end, so I don't know. But let me read out the command. That's the who, who, space minus h. The h here is capital, then space minus a. The a here is small. You press enter. This command is to show you, or is to display information about the user, a user, or the amount, how many users you have on your PC and who logged in, and certain additional information you might need. Okay, then we move on to, yes, you can see this, we move on to the next. We want to know time in other locations, so we want to know the date and time of locations around the world, and here we are trying to use either America or New York. You are trying to use the date, either that or America and Los Angeles. So you can easily do that using the TZ equal to, then the America slash the country you want to get. So this kind of input will give you the output of a current weekday, the month, the date, the time zone, and the year, like you can see. Okay, so take note of this particular command. If your time on your machine is not properly set, you are also going to get a wrong information in your terminal. It's going to give out a wrong information basically. But some people like to use different formats. So some professions use the Julian date. We have something called the Julian date to conduct businesses. So if you want the Julian date format, do you understand, instead of restarting the dates at the beginning of each month, do you understand? For example, in the Gregorian calendar format, the day after 31st is February 1st. However, if you are doing it in the Julian format, the day after 31st is February 32nd instead of February 1st. Do you get? So the Julian format is a bit different. So you can check this information by just entering something we call the cal minus G. This is what you're going to see. So that's a format, a Julian format. Then we have another one. If you want to display an alternative of this, that's the cal minus S, the cal minus M. This will give you other alternative of calendars that we have. I guess. So now we want to, for the last command, you have to enter an ID user. What you want to know, the ID of this particular user. So here it gave us the ID, the group ID, the group that the user is part of, and you can see here what's the group, what are they part of. Here you want to see all the information like that. Then the last task, that's the task 3. We want to improve our workflow by inputting first the history. We want to check the history. So all the commands we typed initially is supposed to show over here in the history. You get? You are going to see all the commands we used. So this is for gathering data about our machine since they are uptime. Yes, and we can also find the dates. Just type in dates. You're going to see the dates, or you can also click on the Control R. Then this will be the end of this particular task. We went further into knowing some of the commands inside Linux. So that is it for today. Do well to subscribe. Thank you. More coming up.